Hey, what is up, guys? 20 years ago, an economist, Mr. Friedman, is the man who predicted Bitcoin existence and necessity in our economy. He believed that internet would give us ability to interact with one another and to conduct business online. But the only thing was missing is digital currency, which would enhance how we interact and conduct business on internet. So in this video I will talk about Mr. Friedman, how he predicted the existence of cryptocurrency. A popular Reddit post from our cryptocurrency section mentioned that Milton Friedman predicted cryptocurrency more than 20 years ago, even when Bitcoin was not even heard of. While Mr. Friedman's description is spot on and very much like cryptocurrencies that we have today, he may have been influenced by inventors of crypto pioneers such as Adam Back. Adam Back, Satoshi cites Adam Back and the Hashcash protocol Back invented as early influences of Bitcoin's proof-of-work algorithm. Back is a well-known British computer scientist and cryptographer. Since 2014, he has been the CEO of Blockstream, and leading Bitcoin development company that employs many of the Bitcoin Core development team. If you're looking for a brilliant thinker whose writings will blow your mind and extend your understanding of free market and limited government, then look no further than Milton Friedman. The American economist is perhaps the greatest and the most prolific representative of Chicago School, and he has published his work such as Capitalism and Freedom, Free to Choose, A Personal Statement, and Inflation and Unemployment, a Nobel lecture. But as we all know, great people with unquestionable excellent merits usually get credited for a lot of ideas and concepts for which they may not be responsible. It was the case with popular Reddit post which claimed that Nobel lecturer had predicted cryptocurrency in 1999 interview. If you listen to entire clip, you hear how 87-year-old talks about how internet will create a way for people to transfer money without the need of central authority and excluding intermediary companies to validate transactions between two parties. Well, let's watch the video.
So that I think that the internet is going to be one of the major forces for reducing the role of government. The one thing that's missing, but that will soon be developed, is a reliable e-cash, a method whereby on the internet you can transfer funds from A to B without A knowing B or B knowing A. The way in which I can take a $20 bill and hand it over to you, then there's no record of where it came from. And you may get that without knowing who I am. That kind of thing will develop on the internet, and that will make it even easier for people to use the internet. Of course, it has its negative side. It means that the gangsters, the people who are engaged in illegal transactions will also have an easier way to carry on their business.
Mr. Friedman's description is more general but manages to squeeze an important information about encrypted for privacy as well as concern about inevitable criminal activities that it generates. If anything, this sounds like Monero, or Dash, or Bitcoin Private. Well, never mind, Bitcoin Private is the shitcoin. Privacy is important for those who does not want to be controlled by government or for those who want to hide something. However, crediting Milton Friedman for creation of cryptocurrency is far from reality. Instead, you should thank people like David Chaum, Adam Back, and Nick Szabo. Those of you who do not know who Nick Szabo is an inventor of smart contracts and Bitgold. Laid the fundamentals for creation of Bitcoin. He defined smart contracts 14 years before Bitcoin. Then he theorized bytes having value based on proof of work 5 years before Bitcoin was created. We should always keep in mind that Mr. Friedman was a top academic and had access to a lot of information about latest economic development. He definitely did not invent the concept of peer-to-peer cash, cryptocurrency, or internet money, but he definitely directed the spotlight on and helped to bring it to public attention. He understood what impact internet would have on our lives, but one piece of the puzzle was still missing. That piece was recently developed 10 years ago and continued being innovated to the current date. Those of you who do not know what I'm talking about Bitcoin, of course. Bitcoin's founding fathers. In 1983, 16 years before Milton Friedman spoke about the private internet transactions during the previously mentioned interview, the great David Chaum had introduced blind signatures for many transactions without actually seeing the information, and secret sharing, a way to detect if the same currency is being used twice, therefore preventing double spending. His invention was called eCash, and it was actually put into the practice through the DigiCash Corporation, as one US bank used it for microtransactions between 1995 and 1998. However, further partnerships with Microsoft fell apart due to Mr. Chairman's apparent difficult attitude. Adam Back brought us Hashcash in 1997 and introduced proof-of-work system as mentioned earlier. Proof-of-work was meant to prevent email spam. In a nutshell, email users had to compute hash before sending each message. Since the regular users required to send very little amount of emails, it was assumed that spamming had to be reduced and discouraged. If the spammer wants to send thousands of emails, as it usually happens, he or she requires a lot of processing power and needs to consume a lot of energy. The idea of limiting spamming through the computational functions or pricing options was first introduced in 1992 by Cynthia Dwork and Monia Noor, but it was Adam Back who successfully put it into practice. In 1998, an entire year before Milton Friedman spoke about private internet money, Wei Dai has created B-Money. The computer scientist holds the meriton of introducing the idea that solves computational puzzles can create digital money. And he also made use of peer-to-peer network where each node holds its own transaction. Perhaps the best known innovation belonged to Nick Szabo, who created BitGold, which is very similar to Bitcoin, Hal Finney, and eventually now famous Satoshi Nakamoto. However, creating the ideological and philosophical invention of cryptocurrency to Milton Friedman would be disrespectful in regards to all those computer scientists and cryptographers who helped develop those advanced pieces of technology, including Bitcoin. The statement is not meant to undermine Mr. Friedman's contribution to the underlying economy through the culture influence which might have led to the creation of Bitcoin. It's very likely that Milton Friedman knew about eCash, Hashcash, and B-Money, and projected his vast understanding of economy to these innovations. While Satoshi Nakamoto was chilling at home in Japan 20 years ago, did he actually turn on his computer or maybe TV and watched 1999 interview, the one that we have seen few minutes ago? Acquiring an interest in the field and eventually discover all those innovations? It is very likely that we will never find out. But the next time we might speculate about the identity of Satoshi Nakamoto or the influence behind the today's cryptocurrencies, let's remember about those contributors of David Chaum, Adam Back, Cynthia Dwork, Monique Noor, and VD, which they all brought to the cryptocurrency community. So, we came to the end. Let me know what you guys think about Mr. Friedman and his interview about predicting the existence of cryptocurrency. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. And if you're new to this channel, do not forget to subscribe for more animated videos about cryptocurrency and financial market. Other than that, thank you for watching. See you next video.